It's time now for Real Estate Update. With Usha Chandra of Globenet Realty, real estate is our world.
Now we're standing here face to face, afraid to move or else.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to this very exciting segment where we talk about real estate, everything real estate. And with that, we'd like to welcome to the show Usha.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Umesh, and Australian Indian Radio. Good to be back again here.
And it's always a pleasure to have you here in the studios. And today we're going to be talking lots about what's happening out there in real estate. As we know, we've just come out of the floods and trying to get back into the recovery and everything like that. So overall, looking at all of these ones, what's happening across the nation, what's of course our gauge for the reports are always been auctions. So what's happening in the field?
Yes, let's have a quick look at the major cities, what has happened in auction results last week. Melbourne, Brisbane and Adelaide record their busiest week of the year to date, while the combined capital's preliminary clearance rate continues to fall, previously stated to the busiest week of last year. This last week overtook the previous week's record as the second busiest, with 3,362 capital city homes taken to auction. Last week's auction activity was up by 8.2% from 3,108 auctions held the week prior, but down to minus 12.4% from 3,840 auctions held this time last year. So looking at the results, the market is indicated that it's down by minus 12.4% compared to the last year's auction results. Last year's results coincided with the last year's Easter peak, while auction activity is likely to continue trend upwards as Easter break approaches. The combined capital cities' preliminary clearance rate has continued to fall to its lowest result of the year, with 69.4% from the 2,762 results collected so far, recording a successful result. The previous week recorded preliminary clearance rate of 69.8%, which revised down to 66.9% at the final figures, while this time last year it was 83.1% of reported auctions were successful. So compared to last year, this year at the same time is minus 12.4% down. Looking at 83.1% results last year at the same time, and this year at the similar same time is 66.9%.
Right. So looking at those figures, maybe the volumes are slightly different as well from last year to this year. So the volumes, but the percentage. If you take only one auction and then that sells, so that means it says 100%. So it's also looking at the volume wise as well. Of course, we know that Melbourne, the number of activities happening in Melbourne, and that affects the percentage when it's looked at in this way, when it's looked at across the board. So yeah, so it's still quite big there. So looking at all of those, so what are some of the facts and figures? What about if we go state by state, looking at the clearance rates and the number of auctions and whatever? So let's take a look at that.
Yes, let's have a quick look at the capital cities. First, we'll look at Sydney market. The clearance rate was 68.1%. The total number of properties taken to auction was 1,100, and the sold cleared auctions were 622 properties sold under the hammer. Melbourne 69.17% is gone a little bit up in Melbourne. 1,606 properties were taken to auction, 948 sold under the hammer. Looking at Brisbane market has gone up compared to last week's result. Last week it was 68.8%, and now it's gone previous week, and last week 73.3%. 243 properties were taken to auction and 126 sold under the hammer. Looking at Adelaide market has gone down from 74% to 70.9%, and 230 properties were taken to auction, and 9 were only cleared auctions. 117 were cleared auctions. Perth was 56.3% down there again. 20 properties were taken to auction and 9 sold under the hammer. Tasmania, as we say, it's not applicable. Canberra is 70.1% down there as well. 162 properties were taken to auction and 94 only sold under the hammer. So looking at the combined capital cities, the results were average was 69.4%. 3,362 properties were taken to auction across the major capital cities, and 1,916 sold under the hammer. So the results were down a little bit compared to the previous week, apart from Brisbane. Brisbane has gone up and Melbourne has gone up. The other major capital cities was down.
And rightfully so. When you look at Melbourne, once again, 1,600 total auctions and 412 uncleared. Many places didn't even have 412 auctions to start with. So they've got. So that's what I was talking about. The numbers, but the numbers are still quite high. So the weighted average at 69.4, which is still quite good. It's a changing market and slightly more properties coming on the market now. Vendors' expectation is still high, and of course the number of buyers may be decreasing slightly, not a lot, but a small, and they're becoming a little bit more cautious too these days. So looking at that, what impact had got on the property prices? So if you look at across, what has been the 12-month change if we go say all city by city?
Yes, looking at the 12-month change, let's have a quick look at city markets again of 18.1%. So it has changed. It was 19.12% and now it's 18.1% down. Melbourne is still the same compared to last week's 10.1. It's gone down from 11% 2 weeks ago, but last week was similar result, 10.1%. Brisbane has gone down by 0.6%. It was 30% and now it's 29.4%. Adelaide has gone up by 0.2%. It was 26%, and Perth is same, 7.4%. So combined capital cities 16.4%. So 12-month change hasn't changed too much. If you look at the combined capital cities, 16.4%. It was 16.8% before. So it's gone down a little bit, but still the results are quite high. Brisbane market is pretty good, 29.4%.
So that is wonderful to see that Brisbane is still on the top of the list at 29.4%, and once again you look at Melbourne, which is slightly above Perth, but at 10.1%. So at 10.1% 12-month growth as compared to 29.4% growth in Brisbane in that same 12-month period. So what it says that Brisbane prices have gone up considerably, but the volumes will still be higher in Melbourne probably, but the percentage growth is not. So that's what sort of makes the difference. So looking at all of those, when we look at the equation and how it equates to those number of sales and number of auctions, we always have to begin with what's on the market anyway. So what are the listings and what have they been across the nation?
Yes, always the listings are extremely important. If we don't have the listings, so we can't sell the properties. So looking at the Brisbane market is pretty steady in listings. It's 4,465 compared to last week's previous weeks as well. So last week 4,465 new properties came on the market. Looking at Sydney is down in listings as well a little bit. 8,106 compared to 8,500 and something new listings previous week. So looking at Canberra, 831 new listings. That's gone up a little bit. In listings, Melbourne has gone down in listings. In the previous week's result, it was 11,000 listings in Melbourne, 9,793. So looking at Adelaide is quite large in listings as well, 1,999. So new listings, Darwin is 206 new listings on the market. Perth is 4,319 new properties come on the market. Hobart is 355. So looking at the combined capital cities, with new listings, 30,074 new listings have come on the market last week. So total 4-week count is 87,796 new properties on the market. So pretty good number of listings. And Brisbane is gone quite large amount of listings compared to a couple of weeks ago. Last week was 4,200, and it's increased by 200 more properties. Looking at listings, so listings are extremely important, and the buyers are still coming in large number, not as large as before in January and December and January. So there are still quite a lot of buyers looking for properties, for the right properties. The prices have skyrocketed. So a lot of people are looking in our area between say 600 to 800, but a lot of properties are going over 800,000 in our area.
So the property values have really shot through the roof, which is in the news a lot. Everyone's talking about that, and based upon that, they're looking at inflation, and of course, then finally maybe increasing the interest rate. So everything's relative to that. So when you look at Brisbane or any market, it's also always good to look at the volumes as compared to percentages only. So, to get the true picture of what's actually happening out there on the ground. So looking at what's actually happening on the ground, let's now take a look at your website review and see what's happening out there. So what have we got in terms of sales?
Yes, we have got a few listings there. One is at 37 Calvary Crescent. We have already got a couple of offers, and hopefully it will go ahead. Looking at number 6 Waterdown Close, we have got a property there which was the owner's expectation was extremely high. So we have dropped the price from $899 plus to $800 plus. So we've got a couple of offers we are looking at. We presented it to the sellers. So let's have a look at what the owners will come down to the final figures. Looking at another property at Nanda, we have got 2 offers on that already. So we have got a couple of other properties like in Rockley. That one has got multiple offers, so that hopefully the owners will accept one of the offers. And that was in the flood area actually. So the owners have come to meet the market. So hopefully we'll sell those ones. We have got quite a few large number of. Looking at that property at the first one we have sold. I've sold that property the 6th time in 33 years. So with the owner is ecstatic about the property. It sold only about 12-13 months ago for $549, and I've sold it for over $800,000. So that has got extremely good result. It's a renovator's delight. So a first home buyer has bought that property. It's in an exceptional location, close to all amenities. So that will be renovated. Hopefully it will come on the market in a few years' time, and I'll sell it again. So we are still down on listings because as the buyer demand is quite high. Looking at our rental properties, actually, we have got about 3 or 4 new properties for rental. We showed one property actually, which we had about 25 prospective tenants came through the property, and we've got multiple applications yesterday, and that's rented to a young couple, and it was previously rented for $460 per week. Now it's rented for $550. So amazing results from our rental team. We sold one on Church Road, and that one has come on the rental market, and we have got application on that one on Saturday as well. So that is going on the rental for $700 a week. Another one we listed at the owners have renovated, which was rented for $420 a week. And after renovation, we have got $720 a week in rent. So amazing results in the rental section. We have got another one in Fitzgibbon, which we haven't even marketed the property. We're still waiting for the owners to tidy up and get the photos, but we have rented it to one of our very long-term tenants, which had been in a property for about 7 years, and I've sold that property, and they're waiting for us to find the right property. So that one is in Fitzgibbon and 7 McLean Street. I don't think it will go on the market. It's already rented with the exceptional tenants who will be living in for a long term. So that's the results of our office at the moment. Due to a lot of rain and all that. So hopefully slowly when the weather clears, we'll have more listings coming on the market as well.
Well, that's wonderful news that you don't have an oversupply of stock and trying it hard to find to rent. So most of the properties are rented, and looking at those results, they are looking very good. So once again, Mr. thank you so much for being on the show today and updating us on all things real estate.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Umesh, and Australian Indian Radio.
Until next time, it's goodbye from us.
Globenet Realty. Globenet Realty has been the longest established, trusted and respected agency in its trade area. Usha Chandra, Director of Globenet Realty, provides honest and ethical service to her customers. If you are thinking of investing in Brisbane real estate market, or if you are seeking professional property management, then you should contact Usha Chandra today on landline 3865 4466 or mobile 0419 775 416. And for further updates, log on to our website www.globenetralty.com.au. Globenet Realty is your own local real estate agency. Situated at Shop 52281 Sandgate Road, Boondall. Globenet Realty. Real estate is our world.